Hello, Yellow. Welcome to another episode of Stroom Stories. Stroom Stories, sorry. So today's episode we're going to do a bit of English, and today we're joined by Terry Niemack from Made by Mosaic, and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much, Anya. It's such a privilege to be here this morning.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your background and how you got involved with Made by Mosaic?
Certainly. I was involved with the youth group at the Methodist Church at the time, and the missionary, Jordan Ridge, who started Made by Mosaic for Mosaic Community Developments, which is our non-profit side, she was also part of the youth group. And we were chatting one morning, and she told me what she does, and I was really so moved by what she's doing and the challenges she was facing. I wanted to get involved, so I volunteered for 6 months, and in October of 2013, Maya asked me to join the team.
Oh yeah.
And by then I got to know everyone at Mosaic and what they did on the non-profit side, and I just knew that is where I wanted to be, that is where God was calling me to go, and I accepted immediately. And 11 years later, I am still at Mosaic. I'm still with Made by Mosaic. Yeah.
So did the branch of Made by Mosaic, did it exist before you started, or was it just the non-profit side?
So the non-profit Mosaic Community Developments is 15 years old. It was started in Potch by May and Louise Conradi. They were students at the Northwest University, and with the Northwest University and stakeholders from America, they started Mosaic Community Developments, the non-profit, and that's where we work with families taking care of orphans. Jordan came over to start Made by Mosaic, which is the job creation side. It's a for-profit business that we started to employ our foster moms.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that they can learn skills, earn a salary, and then pass on those skills. And you know, we were in a position to employ more and more people, even some of our orphans that came through Mosaic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. So what inspired you to become a part of this project?
I really absolutely loved the what they're doing in the community. At the time when I joined Mosaic, there were 2.7 million orphans in South Africa.
Wow.
There are now over 5.6 million orphans. So being able to make a difference in not only in my own community but in Ikageng, really, you know, you want to do something that makes a difference and leaves people better off than they were. And I felt that God was calling me to do, you know, to get involved and be involved at Mosaic.
Yeah.
So, that's how I got involved and why I got involved.
I think so. Before we move on, I think we should just give people like an overview of what Made by Mosaic is and what you do there.
Sure. Made by Mosaic is a for-profit business.
Yeah.
We started out as a small group of moms knitting in the mornings, a couple of hours 3 times a week. Eventually we incorporated baking, and then we took over an existing leatherworks from partners of Mosaic at the time, and incorporated that into Made by Mosaic. So we were doing the knitting, the baking, and the leatherwork.
Oh wow, yeah.
Eventually we stopped with the knitting for various reasons. We unfortunately had to close our bakery after COVID, but we still have the leatherworks going, and we make beautiful products. We're proudly South African, so if anybody knows what that means, there's very strict criteria that you have to adhere to actually be awarded proudly South African status. So Made by Mosaic's products are proudly South African, and we employ foster moms and some community members at Made by Mosaic. We've moved back to Ikageng now.
Oh yeah.
So we've done full circle again. We started there in Ikageng at our site, and then moved to town. Moved the factory again to a different factory, and now have moved back to Ikageng. But we are there for our community. We're very easily accessible. We've got a website, we've got a Facebook page, we've got Instagram. Our contact details are there. We've got an online store, so people can contact us, check out our products.
I think it's amazing, especially that you involve people, like you said, from the community, and it's made in South Africa. It's made locally. I mean, it's made in Potch. I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
So, what is your role at Made by Mosaic, and what does it entail on a daily basis?
I have been the manager of Made by Mosaic since 2016. It basically, I have an operations manager at the factory, and who's Danny. She runs the day-to-day operations, makes sure that everybody knows what they have to do, keeps track of orders, make sure that our products are quality controlled properly, are dispatched when they have to be dispatched. So we liaise on a daily basis. I'm not there all the time anymore because I actually took over running the site in Mosaic community, the non-profit side, since September last year. So I'm fulfilling two roles at the moment. I'm the site manager for the non-profit side and the manager of Made by Mosaic, the job creation side. So I'm very, very, very much more involved at Mosaic at the moment, just getting things in place. But also I see Danny most days, and we speak every single day.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. It sounds like you're very busy. Oh my word. So what do you enjoy most about working at Made by Mosaic?
Definitely the products, coming up with new products and making fabulous bags. I can't think of a better job for a woman. I've always loved bags and have many. But I think that's the fun part, is the creative side, is creating new designs and coming up with. We try to follow trends as much as we can. We have seasonal limited editions, and when we have big events like Nampu, for example, we always have a special Nampu bag every year, something different. We change our linings because we normally use shway in our bags, but we try and change it up a bit so that we just have a limited edition for certain events. So I think that's the most fun part of my job, is the product development and then obviously buying the bags.
Supporting your own business.
I only buy Made by Mosaic. I do not buy anything else.
So where do you get your inspiration from when you're designing a new bag?
We definitely do keep an eye on trends. It's silly not to do that. And then I normally look for ideas on the web, and also in town. You just keep an eye out of what the shops are stocking, and use a few elements and then create our own stuff.
I think they look great.
Thank you.
I hope everybody can see, but they look great.
Thanks, Anya.
What are some of the biggest challenges you have faced, and how did you overcome them?
Sure. That's a big question. So, being a small business, cash flow is constantly a major issue. We've been very, very fortunate having Mosaic supporting us during the tough times. What we try to do is get as many wholesale clients on board as possible, so that we can continually produce for our wholesale business, because that quantity obviously does help in a small business.
Definitely.
And if you've got orders coming in on a consistent basis that you're producing for every month, and you're covering your expenses and hopefully making some profit, you're in a good space. But yes, I think most small business can attest that cash flow is a massive issue. There's a lot of people out there making leather products, so we are competing with a lot of other leather producers, and of course the online platforms.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
hard to compete.
I can imagine. Yeah, and it's like grown, the online platforms in the past few years.
Substantially, yeah.
That's why you should support local.
Yes, please.
So, what are the main goals of Made by Mosaic?
Because we were initially started to support our foster moms as well as our orphans, and I'll elaborate a little bit on that now. We want to upskill as many people as we can in our community and our caretakers that are part of Mosaic. Because they don't have to necessarily stay at Made by Mosaic. We actually did a very nice training program this year with 6 of our moms. Also, we've got a volunteer, Liz, who helps us through the year. She's back in the States at the moment, but coming back in September. And she headed up a very nice project where we actually took 6 moms that have got no skills and took them through the whole process of how to read a pattern, how to measure, doing basic sewing, and they ended up after the 6 weeks actually making something.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, even if they can't be employed at Made by Mosaic, we do try and transfer skills to as many people as possible, even if they're not working at Made by Mosaic. And we've had a couple of our orphan kids that have gone through Mosaic. So we have an after-school program at Mosaic where our kids attend up until matric.
Oh, wow.
And so some of our orphans couldn't find work even after studying at the Northwest University and other institutions. So they actually came and worked at Made by Mosaic in the office.
Oh, wow.
Doing admin and getting some office experience and things like that. And now some of them are working in town.
That's
so
amazing.
we're very we're excited about those opportunities.
Yeah, so it's not just like skills development when making bags, you also try to develop skills wherever you can.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can you tell us a bit about the product and what makes them a bit unique? Because I know you don't just do bags.
No. So we have a wide variety of products available, from ladies' products, men's products, kiddies' products. We do corporate. So anything, if you've got clients that you want to spoil and give thank you gifts to, we have a huge variety of options, and we also customize.
Oh yeah, that's very cool.
And personalize. So you can send us pictures of what you're looking for, and we can then produce accordingly. What makes our products unique is the fact that they're made by foster moms. And then we also take a lot of care with like the insides of our bags to line them with beautiful shui or other linings. So it's not just a plain black or a plain. It's something funky, something pretty. And I think the craftsmanship is excellent. So we definitely have a unique story. So when you support Made by Mosaic, it's not another factory pumping out product. You're actually supporting a foster mom taking care of orphans.
Yes, definitely. And I think just speaking about the quality, anything that's handmade, personally for me, is so much better than something that's mass produced in a factory. There's no competing with it.
No, it's special, and it should last you forever.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what I just want to say with fast fashion and everything these days. Like a bag that you buy in store lasts you maybe a year or two. So this is, like you said, forever.
You just got to give it a little bit of love and some leather cream. And then it's good to go.
Oh, that's great. So how do you ensure the quality of your products? Do you have like a quality check that you do?
Yes, we have about 3 quality checks that our products go through before they're dispatched. It actually starts with the cutting process. It doesn't. The quality control doesn't start once the product is finished. We're actually quite strict when it comes to cutting, that the cutting is accurate and straight, because it actually gives our sewers a lot of aggravation when stuff is askew and stuff like that. So the quality control process starts with the cutting. Then the ladies that sew are also responsible to ensure that everything is done perfectly. And then Sylvia, who cleans our products, and she actually does the cutting as well, but she cleans them, checks them. So another check is done there, and then Danny does the final check before it gets dispatched.
Yeah, okay, so you make sure that every product that goes out through your doors is perfect.
We try our level best that we don't have comebacks.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how do you engage with the community?
We have quite a few platforms. We've got a Facebook page, we've got Instagram, we've got a website and an online store. And we've got quite a few platforms that we engage on, and post on most of our platforms. Oh, sorry, we've got LinkedIn as well. Forgot about that one.
Cool, amazing. So what do you think is the impact of Made by Mosaic on the community of Potchefstroom and then also Ikageng?
I think that what we do at Made by Mosaic and the quality of the products that we produce is really something for Potch to be proud of.
Yeah, definitely.
We can really compete with any brand out there. So that is definitely something that we can, as I say, Potch can be proud of as a community. We are also making a difference in the lives of foster parents, taking care of orphans, of orphan kids that have come out of school and can't find work. I've got one of our orphans at the moment that works at Made by Mosaic that didn't go on to study, but he is learning a craft, and he can then either stay on or go and work for himself.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing, because I think especially in today's world, you don't necessarily need a formal higher education or something to be able to provide for yourself or for your family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
One of our moms, Elizabeth, I've been sending her to events. So she's attended quite a few events now, and she's becoming very comfortable now talking to the public, telling our story. She's a foster mom herself, so it's great that it's not me all the time, that it's actually one of our foster moms. Sorry, I think I touched the mic there.
No,
sorry about that. It's not just me that's at all the events, but one of our foster moms that can actually, it's so authentic coming from someone that's a foster mom that's also working at Made by Mosaic.
I totally agree with you. That's amazing. How do you collaborate with other organizations or institutions, or do you collaborate with other institutions or organizations?
We do. I think we probably collaborate a lot more on the Mosaic side of things, but we collaborate with other businesses. I've got a partnership with a guy that does beautiful embroidery, and we are still in process of designing a bag to suit the embroidery that he does, to make something very unique and special. So there are other crafters that we collaborate with, and of course Henny van Locherenberg. We do a beautiful cushion range with Henny. He's an artist in Paarl, does beautiful work. We did a special edition for Nampu this year of his cushions, so his artwork was printed onto the cushions, and so we do different collaborations like that. Yeah,
that's amazing. I also want to ask you, how long does it take you on average, or like the factory, to make one of these bags? Because you said this whole process of cutting and then sewing and quality control.
It depends on the intricacies of the bag. We've got some. I mean, this would take a lot longer than this bag, for example. Then we've also got very simple bags that we make, crossbody bags that don't have lining, don't have pockets. It's just it's a very plain bag with a strap. That would, we could get a lot of those out in a day, whereas this could probably take us a day, for example, because there's a lot of pockets and parts, and it just depends on the bags.
Okay, that makes sense. What are some of the key skills that employees learn when they work at Made by Mosaic?
Besides the very practical skills that they learn, measuring, cutting, sewing, quality control, all that kind of thing, we teach punctuality, how to, if they would go and work somewhere else, good etiquette, office etiquette, work etiquette, and as I say, we also teach admin skills, petty cash management, filing, research on the internet, emails, all that kind of thing. So basic computer skills, stuff like that.
Wow, so it's so much more like than one would expect when hearing like somebody who works at Made by Mosaic. They're actually learning so much more.
Yeah. And then of course the events.
Oh yeah, and of course the events.
Being at the events, yeah.
What is your long-term vision for Made by Mosaic?
I would love to see Made by Mosaic really employing a lot more people, a lot more foster moms, members of the community. There is a massive job shortage. I mean, we're in Extension 11, and just in our little community, there's a huge amount of people that don't have work. But I would love to see every South African with a Made by Mosaic product, at least. Start there.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true what you're saying. Also, the unemployment rate is insane at the moment. And I personally feel so blessed just to have a job.
Yes.
So I can imagine, how difficult it must be for people not having a job.
Yeah,
and
especially without skills. You know, most ads always say 3 to 5 years of experience or 1 to 2 years of experience. There's so many people out there that don't have any job experience, and how do they start?
Exactly. And I know a lot of companies have internships and stuff where you can start, but then how are you supposed to support yourself while basically not working for anything, for just experience? Yeah, it's insane. So how do you plan to ensure the sustainability of your products?
I definitely, there's a massive focus for us on wholesale clients, as I've mentioned previously. That would definitely ensure that the business keeps ticking over and covering what we need to cover with making a profit. So that is a big focus for us. Is getting more wholesale clients, supplying more outlets, getting our product, you know, to more shops, and if I could get a retail customer out there to support Made by Mosaic, that would be amazing.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people will also listen to this and say, why not just go and take a lot, and why not just list your products and take a lot? But I don't think people realize how difficult and how expensive it is to actually put your products on like big online platforms, not just take a lot.
Yes, it's the online platforms. Some of them are really great. They don't charge service fees or anything like that, but there are quite a lot that the costs to be on the platform is extensive. And you also are sort of on duty 24/7 because they have very strict rules. You have to react when there's an order within a couple of hours or a day or something, and then if it happens over a weekend, they penalize you. You know, there's all sorts of things, and then of course the competition on a platform like Takealot. It's a great platform, but you're competing with thousands and thousands and thousands of products.
Yeah, and I think also people then also don't realize what how your product is different from other products. So they would see like, okay, a leather bag, but they won't realize, okay, this is handmade and it's made locally and it's probably South African, compared to a bag that's like imported, maybe.
Absolutely, and I find that I've done so many events over the years that people like to touch the product.
Yeah, true.
It makes a massive difference when you can feel it and you can see it and you can look at it. So for us, it's great to be on an online platform, but it's better to be in a shop.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, and leather also, there's like a smell to leather.
Yes.
I love a leather smell. So, what is the most important lesson that you've learned in your career?
For me, I think it's if you think you know a lot, you don't. You keep learning. The job that I do keeps me grounded, keeps me humble. You learning every single. I learn every single day. I never get to a point where it's like, okay, there's isn't much more for me to learn. It's just insane. You just keep learning. That's the lesson I've learned. Don't think you know everything, because you don't.
Yeah, continue learning.
Continue. Yeah.
How do you hope your work at Made by Mosaic makes a difference in people's lives?
I've always, for as long as I can remember, said that I want to live a life that makes a difference and that means something to others. And I want to see people grow. I really like to challenge people and push them out of their comfort zones. And I think some of my staff can definitely attest to that. They think I'm hard on them, but I can see the potential. And then afterwards they're happy for the push, but it's not always comfortable, the push. But I love to see people grow and develop. It's I don't think there isn't much more that gives me more joy than seeing somebody rise to their potential, and then move on. We had one of our orphans, Pretty. She actually worked at Made by Mosaic for quite a long time in our office, and she now works at Blue Tech in town, and she's doing so well. So she's one of our big success stories, and she's like one of my children, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
So yeah, I love pushing people out of their comfort zones and into their potential.
I know, and I'm so happy she's doing well.
Yeah, same.
Guys, I just want to say again, here are the products. You can see them here, and please go make an effort to support this beautiful business. And I think it's amazing what you do for your community, for our community.
Thanks, Anya.
And yeah, can you just tell people again where they can find you?
Yes, of course. We are on Facebook, Made by Mosaic. We're on Instagram, made_by_mosaic. And then we have a website, is www.madebymosaic.co.za. My number is 084 667 6522, and you can contact me anytime. And I just wanted to say thank you to the Go-To Guy, not just for this opportunity, but for everything you guys do for the community. You guys are really, really doing a lot for our community. I don't think people really realise all the exposure and what you're doing for businesses in Potch. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you. And thanks so much for joining us today and for speaking to us. It was really lovely to meet you as well. And for you that don't know, this is Michaela's mom. So Michaela was on stream earlier this week. So this is her mom, and we're so happy to have you here.
Thanks so much, Anya.
Okay, but thank you guys. And then we'll see you again this afternoon. Drikkers is coming in with another episode of Rugby Raz. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Okay,
Thank you.